meeting is going right in without asking for any information, so it must have been really. Oh, hang on. YouTube up. Good up. Don't have anything for Facebook yet.
We're on Facebook.
I get you guys back. I just need to stop the stop share button. Where'd that go? Right there. Bingo. Bingo. Gone.
Ah,
I think we're there.
wouldn't be us if we weren't on,
There you go.
Oh, that was fun.
Yay.
I had some broadcasting issues. We've done some testing earlier today, and something popped up again for a little bit of a blank for Facebook. But we see that we're back on Facebook now. So good evening, everybody.
There you go.
And welcome back to our Sunday
First
night
glitch
offering
of
of
the
astronomy.
season.
Huh? Oh yeah, happy new season. Welcome back to our Sunday night offering of astronomy entertainment, the Sunday Night Astronomy Show.
Yay.
Hey. My name is Chris Kerwin. I'm the creator of the social media channels known as Astronomy by the Bay. I'm also an amateur astronomer and a member of the Royal Astronomical Society of Canada.
Hey.
Hey,
Hey.
welcome back to my two regular co-hosts this evening, Mr. Paul Owen from the Moonshot Observatory in beautiful Hampton. Paul.
Good evening.
And Mr. Mike Powell from the PFO Observatory here in St. John. Mike.
Salute.
Salute. And we'd like to welcome all of you out there tonight from YouTube and Facebook land, and those who are joining us through the local Rogers TV network. Thank you so much for your support. Okay, so on tonight's episode of the Sunday Night Astronomy Show, now we're back for another season of astronomy edutainment. And tonight we want to start off by talking about some of the highlights that we had experienced over the summer and your highlights as well. Did you get any chance to get out underneath the stars? Perhaps you got a chance to see some of the Northern Lights displays that we've been experiencing lately. Let us know in the comments. And also we've got Vinyl Bud back with us with another binocular target of the week.
A whole new series with the same old stuff.
People forget. Anyway. Let's hope.
Trust me, Bono Bud forgot too.
Paul's gonna have a Rosanna rewind for us this week
I am.
to share, and he's also going to discuss a little bit about how to get that shot with your camera without taking out a whole pile of astro gear, right? Basically.
Yep.
So in that topic a little bit, Mike has a short review, I think, on his time-lapse camera that he's picked up. And I've got a few celestial events to share this week. We got a couple of really nice ones coming up, including the full harvest moon on Tuesday with a partial eclipse with that. Keeping a real close eye on that comet that's coming around now. And it's getting more favorable. And also, I'll have some of your photo, or not, I'll have all of your photo offerings to show up as well. So that's our show for tonight.
Well, thank you. Thank you for coming.
Much.
Thank you for coming. Yeah, it was great.
That's what our show will be about tonight.
Summer's too short.
All right. Well,
Summer went by. Eh?
let's have a little chat about what happened this summer. Oh,
Yeah.
summer vacation.
So was there anybody out there who have experienced some stuff? If you have, let's type it in the messages. Let us
Yeah.
know what you did over the course of it wasn't a whole summer, but it was, I don't know, a month and a half, or how long
Yeah,
were
6 weeks, I think. We're out 6 weeks.
Wow.
6 weeks. And we were really, really busy over the last 6 weeks, doing all kinds of different things. So we attended some star parties and some public outreach. Did a lot of just doing stuff on our own. Had a ball, really. Mike, how'd you make out this summer?
Oh, it was a great summer when we had an opportunity with a good night. We took advantage of it. I know that.
Mm.
You know, it was 5-minute warnings before we head out to Florida Beach. It's like, you going? Yeah, I'm going. Are you going? Yeah, I'm going. And then boom, out we go. And you know, when we went out to shoot that meteor shower, and it turned out to be a night of aurora instead, that was just incredible.
Yeah.
I took like 400 shots. I got one meteor and a whole bunch of aurora.
Yeah.
But
I
that was
think
a
a lot
ball.
of people experienced that. They said the same thing. So it was kind of a bonus, really.
Yeah, it was.
After we finished at Florida Beach, I came home and I was ready to pack it in. I just edited a few photos, and then I was walking by my north-facing window, and it was brighter here than it was at the beach.
Yeah, unbelievable.
So I threw out my camera and my tripod in my pajamas, and out I went. And I took a whole bunch more pictures. It was probably one of the nicest auroras I've seen in this area, if not the nicest I've seen in this area.
Yeah.
So
Well, the one we had back earlier in the year was phenomenal.
May the
Yeah,
10th.
I was
Yeah.
photographing that at 4 a.m. from my back deck in Bortle 5 Sky, and it was dancing. Like, it was
Yeah.
unbelievable.
Yeah.
That's one of the reasons that I kind of lean towards getting this toy that I picked up lately that I'll talk about tonight, the time-lapse camera, is just for that purpose.
yeah.
I'll be able to take it out, plunk it on the ground, and I'll be able to photograph aurora while I'm doing other photographing with my normal camera. So
Yeah, well, the thing with the auroras is they're unpredictable. I mean, we have forecasts, but it's just like listening to the weather guy, I guess. You get an idea that perhaps maybe just there might be a chance that
Yeah.
could be something there, and then it could be phenomenal or it could be absolutely nothing. So it's I guess it's the chase, isn't it?
yeah, it's all about the chase.
And all about the timing. I mean, I get questions. I had one earlier today about, well, why can't they get closer to the time frame? Like, it's almost the same as like a hurricane, right? I mean, they can't tell exactly where the landfall is going to be until it just about makes landfall.
Yeah.
Thing with this is that we have a couple of spacecraft that are staring at the sun. Yes, we do. And we can tell when there's a solar flare, and we can tell if there's been a CME attached to that solar flare, because not all the time do we get a CME after a solar flare? Some of the material just gets cast or just gets grabbed by the magnetic field of the sun, it pulled back down again.
Mhm.
So like this one coming tonight or overnight, I guess now they're saying between 3 and noon, I guess. They can't get more accurate than that right now, because first of all, I got to know the strength of the CME. How big was that solar flare? Where was it exactly facing? How much plasma did it release? Then you can start to say, okay, well, here's the speed of it, but there's a few things that are affecting this one in particular. There was an M-class flare just the day before. So, and this one's actually moving a lot faster. They shouldn't arrive here in 2 days. It should take at least 3 days, right? So this one is really accelerated, and there's a slow one ahead of it. And we had this situation, I think, back in May when we call it a cannibal CME. So one swallowed the other kind of thing on their way. And also there's 2 coronal holes on the sun right now that are ejecting tons of solar particles out through them as well. So that's another thing that's going to change our magnetic field of our planet as well. So a lot of things are happening all together. So to say exactly when it arrives, we know usually about an hour before. And
Yeah,
that's when the Discover spacecraft or the ACE spacecraft, they get the signal to say, okay, we're seeing the plasma density go up. The solar wind is increasing. All the factors that we want all fall into line at that time. So we really don't know until about an hour before it actually happens. But we have an idea that, in past days, so right now we're calling for a G3 still.
Yeah, but they're calling for a G3 KP7 sometime around 3 o'clock in the afternoon. If you take a look later in the evening, they're still calling for a KP6 G2. So you should get some low horizon aurora out of it if you're on a high peak and looking down towards the north. You should get some horizon glow for sure.
It could still be late. It could be late. Maybe we'll get the G3 tomorrow night, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
So you kind of have to look at the apps and maybe set your apps for a couple of alerts, right? And we know like the BZ is an important one to keep an eye on. That BZ number should be negative, but it can also go negative and positive and negative again. And that's actually better because then you've got things that are happening, right?
Jumping all over the place. Yeah.
The density should be high. The solar wind, you want that high. So you can see all those factors on all the apps anyway. So look for those 4 factors that we talk about. And if you see that they're all favorable, you can go take a look.
yeah.
So
the auroras were something we saw over the course of the summer before we went to break, and then after we went on break. At our star party in Fundy, we were blessed with another aurora. It wasn't a huge one.
well,
It would have been a lot better had we not had a big mountain facing north. But even with that, we still got quite a show, and I got a picture later I'll show of it. And so it's been a good year for auroras. So
the
far.
other thing about that star party at Fundy, we had 2 beautiful nights with great weather.
Yeah,
We got through both nights, which was just a blessing.
yeah.
And we got some incredible viewing in there, and the public was fantastic. What did we have?
Yeah.
On both nights, we had close to 700 if you had them both together. That's a lot of people to
Yeah.
get a view.
And they had to drive 9 kilometers to get to us. That was the whole thing. So you knew the people who were coming.
They were coming for that. Yeah, they just weren't stumbling through. They were coming for that purpose.
And there was a lot of interest there. A lot of interest.
Well, what was interesting was the second night was supposed to be, and it looked like it was going to be, clouded out.
Yeah.
And the clouds start coming in late afternoon, and we figured, oh, yikes, we may not have a night. So probably about half the astronomers left.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We said, no, let's just hang in there. You just never know.
Believe when we packed up our tents and stuff.
As soon as the crowd started coming, the skies separated, and they were great right through until we were done.
Oh, it was fantastic.
Yeah.
I mean, we used to get a lot of fog at the other location and at Chignecto. And down there, we haven't got fog yet, but that has ruined, one of our evenings. So it's
we've been there for, well, I guess you put COVID aside, and we were stormed out last year.
Yeah.
Other than that, it was that's our 3rd season there, I think.
Yeah.
That we were actually there, and every one of them were good.
Yeah. No, it was fantastic. Really good weekend.
Since then, I mean, we've had pretty good weather over the last couple of weeks, really.
Yeah.
just a touch of rain and clear night again tonight, clear again
Yeah.
tomorrow night, right through
And
this week.
in between that, we had a couple of outreach events over at Irving Nature Park.
Right, yeah.
They turned out to be pretty good. There were some good crowds there too, and
250.
lots of scopes on the field. So
Yeah.
they made for some good weekends.
Yeah. Well, summer's so short, and the trouble with summer, of course, is as nice as it is, it doesn't get dark until late.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
you don't get started until late, and
Yeah.
but now we're coming into that part of the year where it's getting dark now, close to 8 o'clock. At least dark enough to start seeing some stars popping through. So a lot of those summer constellations are moving their way out, and then the winter ones are coming in.
Yeah.
And as it is every year at Fundy, we stay up until we see Orion,
Yeah.
and we know it's time to go to bed at that point.
Then we just stayed up because I think of the whole weekend we got about 2 hours sleep, if anything.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that's what you do at star parties.
Oh, coffee and adrenaline. Yeah.
You live for the night, and then the daytime, well, it's just like, well, I can't go back to sleep. It's too hot in the tent. So
Yeah.
I have to stay awake anyway.
That's what it is.
We had a good group of people come through for some of solar observing, and there was telescope people, camera people wanting to know how to do stuff for the evening. So we had some good interactions there, and great food, good company.
That was-
Yeah. So Fundy was a really, really good one. Mount Carlton, unfortunately, got weathered out on us.
Yeah.
So that one didn't work out. Yvonne did both Kushabaquack ones. Saturday, I think they fell to bad weather, but they had Friday.
Yeah.
So all in all, with all the star parties that we had, they all went quite well this year. That was a lot of fun.
Oh yes. Always is.
Yeah, and now next week we've got that moonrise that's going to be partially
Eclipse. Yeah.
Tuesday night.
yeah, so that'll be nice. That'll be a nice event.
That's when they should have held International Observe the Moon Night was during the eclipse moon instead of last night.
Yeah, really, that would have made more sense.
Yeah.
But I guess because of the weekend.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But even that was good last night to get back out to the beach again where we normally go and set up. We must have had 8 scopes on the beach last night?
You had 8, yeah.
Yeah. And it was what it was. It was like you hear the waves crashing on the beach and you're back, and it's just a nice evening. It was great.
Yeah.
No, it went very well. And again, like right now, this is my favorite time for observing anyway, because now we're getting into the early. I mean, you can get out now and observe for a couple of hours and still, be back inside at an early enough time. And I mean, the bugs are dropping off and your scope cools down faster. So your images start to improve better through the eyepiece. And, and I know we're not quite at the November, December quite stage yet, but this does seem to be a time of year when you seem to get the nice clear skies anyway, out of all this.
Yeah, exactly.
Derek says you're lucky you canceled Mount Carlton. That tropical storm knocked over a few trees up there. We survived.
Wow.
Yeah.
It seemed the last time for Mount Carlton was the same thing. We had it all planned and worked out, and everything was just tickety-boo. And then we had another major storm come through,
right,
and knock it out. So that was 2 in a row. But you know what? I've been watching Mount Carlton all year, and every time a major anything came through, warning, Mount Carlton, warning. The province.
Yeah.
It's between 2 mountains, and it just gets crazy up there like all the time. The weather is very unpredictable up there. I mean, we were setting up, I don't know, Mike, I don't think you were there. Chris, I think you were. And we were setting up, just got there, beautiful sunny day. And then all of a sudden clouds just came over. The place went like almost completely dark. Thunder, lightning, just ripping torrential rains, all for about, I don't know, maybe an hour.
Yep.
And then skies parted again.
Yeah.
So you just never know up there.
Trying to find that video because I know I got it on my computer. If I can find it, I'll bring it up.
Yeah.
It was bad. Yeah, that was a bad. And all our scopes were out there covered, and
so what's going on out in Viewerland? Is anybody?
Yeah, so waiting to hear from anybody.
Any kind of responses out there? And
Trudy here on YouTube says, hello, I did an outreach with a great group of astronomers and three crazy guys in Fundy. Who are they, Trudy?
Oh, there, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
It was
my.
a good time.
I'm just trying to bring
And
it up.
outreach is always fun. You know, you get an opportunity to meet people that you've talked to on and off here or whatever too, with comments and things, and bringing the kids out too to take a look through the scopes is always a treat. You got any photos, guys, to share?
I met some new astronomers. I'm just trying to get live here on, there we are, I found it. I met some new astronomers up there, this year, and we chatted over the course of the summer as we were planning sites and all that stuff. And, yeah, I met some really, really cool people this year, and, now we're, Facebook friends, and I'm sure we'll be talking and chatting and, getting to know each other. So that's the nice thing about star parties. If you haven't attended one, it's a great place to meet people. We meet people from all over the world.
Oh, yeah.
We're there, and it's surprising when you ask somebody where they're from. Oh, I'm from Denmark, or I'm from Switzerland, or I'm from France, or I'm from wherever. And it's just that matter of fact, that gal that I helped with camera with, she was from Quebec,
Yeah.
and where was she going? She was going over to the UK somewhere. But anyway, but it's just interesting the people that you meet there, because it's it's a destination it's an international destination.
It is,
So, yeah, so those things, you go to see the scopes in the sky and all that, but so do they. And a lot of them, especially the ones, in my experience, that have come down from Toronto or some of the bigger cities, they have never seen skies like this.
I remember.
This is their first time looking up and seeing all of these millions and billions of dots that they just don't see in the sky, right? So it's really surprising how many people say, "Wait, I've never seen this." It's almost like, okay, so you've never left the city. Of course, the cities are so darn big, you could leave them for an hour and still be in total light pollution, right?
True.
Yeah.
That's true.
So, but anyway, that I find that really interesting. So it's a thrill talking and showing people things in the sky, naked eye, without telescopes or anything, and just pointing things out to them, and they're saying, "Oh my gosh, I can't believe I can see a galaxy with my eye, or a star cluster, or whatever." You can see all that stuff.
Oh, yeah.
We all kind of stayed on the target, I guess. So some of us were sharing the same target, I know, but
Yeah.
I was down there. I'd share Saturn, and I just stayed on Saturn most of the evening because
Yeah.
just kept making the loop around. And
Yeah.
it's great because everybody was very supportive with their lights, with their cameras and their phones.
It's funny when people go to the eyepiece for the first time, those who have a look through a telescope like what they see in the field. And you're saying to them, "Okay, did you find it yet?" And I stopped saying that, because as soon as they found it, it's like, "Wow,
Oh, yeah.
holy crap. Oh, Mom, you gotta see that." And that's what happens. Just same as my camera, things just fall apart.
The wow factor. Yep.
But it's just so funny. You just stand back and you wait. You go, "Up, yep, they found it."
There it is. Yeah. You could always see the eyeball light up too when they're looking at the full moon.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
There it is.
Yeah.
Then they go, "Ah."
But yeah, they walk away from the scope, and it's like they had looked at a light bulb for about 5 minutes. One eye's really all blurred out, the other eye's nice and clear.
Guy Sergimay says, I was watching the Perseids from my deck. He said, seen 7.5 an hour, and then the clouds arrived. Yeah.
Yeah.
It happens.
We get clouds.
We do. Very many of them. Yeah. So anyway, it was a good summer. It was, and we still have lots of things to look forward to in the fall here. We've got that interesting comet that's coming by.
Yeah.
It is at a magnitude 5 right now, so it's just 5.5. So it's just outside the observable limit of your eyeball, but binoculars would pick it up. In the morning sky right now, very, very low. Actually, by next Sunday, it'll be very low in the morning sky for us. And then it's supposed to stay in our sky for about 5 days. Then we have to wait until October when it's in our evening sky with Venus, which will be really nice. The comet Venus, a crescent moon at the same time. So should be quite a photographic opportunity there.
Yeah.
They've got about a week because it's going to speed away real fast. It's going to climb and lose magnitude real fast. But It does. But
I want to give a shout out to Emile Cormier
Mhm.
for debuting his Dobsonian that he built at the Fundy Star Party.
Yeah.
And what a treat.
Unbelievable views, eh?
Unreal. Unreal. Maybe hopefully sometime you'll come on the show and talk about it with us.
Yeah.
I was looking forward to it all summer because I was going to see it in Mount Carlton, which would have even been even more spectacular. But he put an O3 filter on, and you could look at any part of the veil and you could see the wispy cloud figures in it. You could see dynamic detail. Like it's just nothing like I've ever seen in a telescope looking at that.
Yeah.
He had it years ago when we were at Lake Livingston. He showed me the North American Nebula through his little Mac at with an O3, and I was kind of blown away by that. But that doesn't even. I can't say enough about this telescope. I don't want to give too much away because I'm hoping he'll come on and talk about his build. Because he built this, designed it, he did everything himself, and it's really something else. So you know, hats off to him for pulling that off.
It's a 20-inch, right? So
Yeah.
And not only being functionally fantastic, but what a work of art. Like,
Oh my gosh, yeah.
this thing just looks gorgeous when you're walking across the field and see it. You go, wow,
Yeah.
unbelievable.
He said his first thing to think about was that he wanted to be sure that he didn't have to climb a ladder to look in the eyepiece.
That's
Yeah.
right.
So he set it up. So I want a telescope that I'm going to stand this high and I'm going to slip right there, and that's where the eyepiece is going to be. And his whole design was based on that.
It was based on his physical size.
Yeah.
So he got the oversized mirror, everything. It's just incredible to listen to him talk about what he did to it. So, so again, you know, Emile, if you're listening,
Yeah.
you're going to be getting a message. Hopefully, you'll come on and talk.
For sure.
Hope so. Yeah. Okay. So I don't see too many other comments here. Just everybody saying hello, welcome back, which is great. To be here. So maybe what we'll do is we'll move on to a vinyl bud then next. And if you folks have other comments that you want to share with us, like again, we have a really busy fall coming up. We have our next date within the Irving Nature Park on the 11th right now. And then again, that comet's coming through. You know, all this is leading to next March when we have the total lunar eclipse and another partial solar eclipse at sunrise, which is going to be a fantastic event. So, and Saturn is at opposition right now. Jupiter is at opposition in December. So we have both in the evening sky very soon. So there's all kinds of things that are happening all the time, but this seems to be an extra special year for sure for us.
Yeah.
All right. Mike, how about the vinyl bud next?
Vinyl bud. Okay. I think it should be coming up there.
It is.
All right. We got a whole new cover page. Binocular target of the week this week by Vinyl Bud is, and some of you will remember this, others will go, what? Backwards number 5. Believe it or not. So the asterism, backwards number 5, looks like, as it may, or you may have guessed, a backwards 5 or the letter S, depending on how you look at it. It's easily seen, being located near Zeta Hercules. In the center of your field of view with the binoculars, when you look up there, what you're going to see is a backwards 5. So how do I find it in the sky? Well, because it's starting to get dark nice and early now. If you go outside at 9 o'clock at night, it's dark enough to look up and orient yourself at 265 degrees south-southwest. Look up, you'll see the keystone of Hercules. If you come down to this bottom star in the corner and just down a little bit from that, you're going to find the backwards 5. There's that star. Come down here, look at this. It might be upside down, but it's still a backwards 5 or an S or a number 2 if you want to go that route. But there it is right there. You can't miss it. And what does it look like? It gives you, when you're up there looking at it, a beautiful view. Yes, sir. It looks like either the number 2 or a 5 or an S, however you may choose to interpret it. And a pair of binoculars, 10 by 50s. It's a good size. Easy to spot, easy to see. Once you get that big star off Hercules and come down, you'll know it's there. Compared to the full moon, that's why you'll know it's there. It's at least the size of the full moon. So it's real easy to spot, real easy to find. And guess what? What do you call a bug on the moon? A lunatic. And that's Binocular Target of the Week by Bino Bud.
Awesome. Thanks, Mike.
Ta-da!
Another good target. Another good target.
It's kind of cool,
All right.
yeah.
Yeah. Backwards 5. Okay, Paul, you're up, sir.
I'm up.
Rosanna Rewind, or are you going to talk a little bit about cameras?
Batter up.
I think, yeah, I'll do the camera thing first.
Okay.
Yeah, I got Rosanna kind of queued up, but I have to find some stuff, so I'm gonna do this first. Okay, so what I want to just do a quick little chat about, just let me see if I can find everything first. Was it this one or was it this one? I think it was this one. Yeah, that's it.
Oh, I see Amazon. I wish I had my blue glove on tonight for her.
Okay, so what I'm going to talk about is astrophotography, of course, but I'm just going to talk a little bit about the pitfalls of doing deep sky astrophotography at the level that some of us do it, and the frustration, the perseverance, the successes, the little victories, the bad defeats. All of this can go on in one night. Believe it or not, doing astrophotography. So it's a kind of a thing where you have to really want to do this, to get to certain levels. And then what I mean by that, I'm going to share my screen and let me just show this. So let me know when you can see it. Oh, share first.
There you go.
You see it there now?
Yeah, we got you now.
You see my rig, current setup?
Yep.
Okay. So basically, just to show a little bit of the complexity of what I have in my observatory now, that's kind of my current deep sky astrophotography rig. When I feel like going out and opening the roof and putting and going out and taking some deep sky objects. So you can see that there's a lot of pieces and parts that go with that kind of photography. Everything from the camera to the filter wheels to the reducers to the automatic focusers to the whole heart of the system that controls power and controls data, to your little scope that sits up on top that tells this great big old mount where and where not to go, and making sure that all this is lined up and done correctly. And then from all of that, you got to set up a computer on the side, and then it transmits the data back into your house where you have another computer. And there's where you open up all the software, and then you start to basically turn everything on and line everything up, find your target, and then cross your fingers that all of that stuff and all of those wires and all of those plugs work. And then if it does, then you're on a 2 or 3 day venture to get pretty much one picture. That's kind of what goes on. So having done that since 2011, for those people who follow me, may have noticed that in the last year or so, I haven't really posted a lot of photos. And the reason I haven't done it is because I got kind of burned out. I lost my mojo, as they say. Now, what you can get, whoops, there we go. Okay, let me make that bigger. Oh, I see, hang on, there we go. So this is some of the imagery with that big rig that you can get. So there's the elephant trunk, there's the Heart Nebula in a narrow band, show, what they call a show palette, the Orion Nebula with the Running Man. So it can be very, there's the Eastern Veil. So it can be very rewarding to do that. But what happens over a period of time is we tend to see the same targets over and over. So let me just get back to, here we go. It's over and over. So what I want to chat about tonight was, okay, I got tired, I got burned out. What am I going to do? I still want to go out there, and I kind of forgot what it was like to get under the sky and just look up at the stars and let my eyes take in all this light rather than the camera and all that stuff, and experience just being out in the silence and the peace and the solitude of the night sky. But what can I do that's easy, simple, but yet still satisfy my imaging desires to take at least some kind of experience home with me so that I can record and show. So over the last year, I've just been taking out my tripod and a camera and a remote sensor. And what I'm going to show you are some of the things over the summer I was able to get. Now, this is out in our friend Trudy. This is out in her backyard. And this, well, not in her backyard, literally, but it's out at Forbes Beach, which is just not too far from her place. And I thought, there you go. There's a single shot, no stacking, none of that stuff. There was a couple of stones in the front that had graffiti painted on them. And I said, you know what? I'm going to take a picture of the Milky Way right there. So there you go. 1 30-second picture, a little bit of editing, and there was my experience. I stood there for probably most of the night in that area, taking a few pictures. And I got the experience of being under the sky, but I was able to come home with a little bit of documentation. And we see now, there's another shot there. This is when we were at Mount Carlton, same thing. After the public had gone and everybody was done their scopes, just take a run down to the lake and then go ahead and find a beautiful spot and take a Milky Way shot. Again, one single image. That's all it was. Probably about 20 seconds long is all it took to get that, because you're in the dark sky. And if you're going to shoot the Milky Way, your best friend is the darkest possible sky you can get into. And then you'd be surprised with the results. Had some fun with some star trails. Again, what do I need? Just a camera, just a tripod, and just a shutter release. And just sit there and just basically do a few settings on the camera. The camera will do all the work for you. You can stand there and enjoy the night sky, and it'll actually take images like this, so that when you're done, you've got your experience. Another one here. This one is from the place that Chris and Mike and I go to out at Florida Beach. And this was actually from the beach side, which I don't think Mike and Chris have been down that far yet. But anyway, that's when you go to the beach side and then you're looking straight across the beach. And there's another star trail from there. Again, a little tree on the side to give it some, interest. Some lights in the foreground, the beach, light up some of the cameras of the other photographers that were there. All I needed was a camera and a shutter release and a tripod. This is actually from our first experience with the aurora at Florida Beach. This is in St. John, just out past the airport. We had a wonderful night. Again, that picture is just, I put my camera on timer, give me 10 seconds to get in position, and I stood there like a statue for the 15 seconds that it took to take this picture. And there it is. There's the image and a beautiful aurora. These are some of the things that we were talking about seeing. Another Milky Way shot. This one was from Cape Breton. We were just doing a little tour around Cape Breton last fall. And the last place we stayed at had a really nice dark sky. I said, before I come in and unpack the car, I'm going to take a picture of the Milky Way. It looks like it's going to be a good one. And there it was, a single, probably 20-second shot. My backyard, look at that beautiful meteor going through the sky. And that wasn't planned. That was just by the grace of goodness. That one was right down the center of my frame and turned out very nice, beautiful stars. And I don't mind a few clouds. Makes it an interesting look. If you are into the moons, the very thin crescent moon, it follows right behind the sun at that phase. So as soon as the sun goes down, you've got a gorgeous sky and a beautiful moon. Pick your foreground and off you go. Again, camera, tripod, no big rig. This was out in Vancouver. This was what I saw of the aurora in May. And that's actually the Pacific Ocean down here. That's northern Vancouver. And that was the moon. I can't remember what phase it was, but it was out. But the moon got flanked easily by the aurora, as you can see. Again, a beautiful look at that. There's the same thing. There's that same patch of water. And this, I just turned my camera to the portrait orientation because I wanted more sky, just to show you how high up that aurora went. It was unbelievable. There's your moon shining over the water. It just, again, I was blessed being there and only having a camera and a tripod. You want to do some dramatic photos of the sunrises or sunsets. Set your camera up, go to what they call f16 on your aperture. It'll show the refracting, it'll refract the light from the blades in the lens, and you can get those beautiful spikes, refraction spikes when your sun's going down. Very simple thing. Camera, tripod, very fast picture, away you go. This is the backyard again, just off of my deck, just basically pointed at the Milky Way. This was earlier on in the season, because you can see the Milky Way is relatively low, and that's the eastern skies that was coming up, northeastern. And I was fortunate enough to get yet another meteor going through my shot, and that was probably about, I don't know, 20 seconds or so. There's Deneb, there's Vega, and there's Altair, and there's your summer triangle, and all the goodies that go along with it. Again, camera, tripod, push the button, and away you go. The only difference between that shot and this one, you'll notice that the stars are a little more bloated. This is just experimenting with a Pro Mist filter. Just put the filter in front of your camera. You don't change anything other than putting the filter in front of your camera. It'll bloat up your stars nice. The colors pop, and it just makes for a more interesting and more dynamic range for the stars. Turns out kind of nice. Again, camera, tripod. Shooting the moon for forced perspective. What I mean by forced perspective is the moon size, typically, when you stretch your arm out and you look at your pinky can cover the moon twice. But yet the moon looks like it's bigger than the house that's here. Again, that's all forced perspective. That's all taking the shot with a long lens, being far, far away from the things that are close to the moon. And you can make that moon look so giant, it's unbelievable. And what did I have to use? Camera and a tripod. Very simple, easy to do, very interesting foreground. The same thing, this was the same area. I was across the river on the Gondola Point Ferry, and I just used a slow shutter speed just to have fun with some light trails from the cars, but the moon was rising just nice, and it makes for a beautiful photograph. Again, tripod. Here, a zoomed in version of the moon coming up. It looks giant compared to that house, doesn't it? It's just unbelievable. But when the moon first starts to come up, there's still enough light coming off it that the ground, when the full moon comes up, the sun is just going down. So there's still enough light to light up the ground a fair bit on its own. So you're able to get a lot of detail in the information in the foreground without having to really crank up your ISO. So your pictures turn out nice and clean. So that's another version of that, camera, tripod. This was at Aurora, I was telling you about, in my pajamas on my back deck after coming home from Forbes Beach. And I kid you not, this is in Hampton. And look how bright and red that was, which was a lot brighter and redder than what it was out at Forbes Beach. Unbelievable. But it was, again, it had advanced by a couple hours as well. This is actually not something I should have put in there because this does require a telescope. Here's Forbes Beach that same night. We were down on the beach, and you can see the Big Dipper here. There's two stars that you can't see because that cloud came over, but we used the Big Dipper as a central point, and we got the beautiful reflection of the aurora in the lake. It was just wonderful. Again, camera, tripod. So the reason I'm pointing all this out is I found that when shooting astro with my telescope and getting all those wonderful targets that I still think are amazing to look at, and it's amazing we can actually see them land-based from our own backyards to see that stuff. I just found that I was shooting the same things over and over. As the summer went away, the winter would come up. You know, you have your seasons, galaxy season, you have auroral season, all of those seasons. But those targets generally don't change. And so I found I was getting a little bored with them. So by just taking out a camera, a tripod, a camera release or a shutter release, because you would need that, you can have so much fun and get all these wonderful photos and have a different photo every night. And that's the difference. So you can have something that more people, to be honest, are more related to, because people are more relatable to a lake and the moon than they are a nebula and the gases that it contains. So anyway, so that was kind of the little journey I wanted to take everybody on to show where I've gone. And this is where I'm at now in my astro life, if you will. Yeah, and that's kind of where it is. So it's still great to get out there and get that scope and put it all together and all that stuff. And that is so satisfying, and it'll take you a lot of different places that you never think you go. But if you're the type of person that's just, you have a family, you're working, your time is very limited. There's nothing as easy than to grab a camera, tripod, figure out where it is you want to go and take your picture and go out there and do it. You can still do that and not take any time away from your family to do it. So anyway, that was my little yak on that.
It's true. Like, we have talked about this before. We started out with a wide field scope. You buy all the other gear, and then you go back to wide field. You go back to the small scope again.
Even wider again, because now you're just using a camera lens.
Exactly. So,
Yeah.
People ask me, what's the best scope? Well, it's the one that you're going to use. It's the one that takes the least amount of effort to set up. But we're all like that. You come home from a day's work. I don't want to go, I want something I can just quickly plunk on the ground, take a look at the moon and say there, or take a nice snapshot. And that's what you're getting to, right?
Yeah.
Is that, you get
Yeah.
the whole feature.
Well, that's it. And this is something that everybody can do. If you've got even a smartphone now, the smartphones, and Chris, you do it all the time yourself now. You take your smartphone, you put it on the stand, and you can do it. All the phones now have Astro settings right in them. So you can do absolutely wonderful stuff. You don't even have to buy a DSLR or mirrorless to be able to pull this off, right? So
I don't know, my flip phone doesn't seem to work on the eyepieces for some reason. My old flip phone just doesn't work on the eyepieces.
Yes. Yeah. Well, the newer ones are amazing anyway.
Oh,
So,
yeah.
So
And it's just getting better and better, right?
Exactly.
I promise you that I take you back to show you other days, and here we are at one of our trips to Mount Carlton.
Oh yeah.
So here we go.
Oh yeah.
Like horse scope right there. So no stargazing through that hour.
I remember that.
Yeah.
That's when you gotta get a wiper blade for the front of your spec
In front of your lens.
At least, yeah. I think you need one right now, Mike.
I know. What happened?
I don't
Oh,
know.
you gone blurry.
Yeah,
There you go.
Back. There you
The
go.
whole
You're back.
3D thing.
Yeah. Okay. We're running out of time, guys. We're at 8 minutes too. Where do you want to go with from here?
Whatever you got next.
I'm
could
going to
talk
forego
about-
the Rosanna just for the time and the fact that it's a rewind anyway. I'm not going to worry about it tonight. So
Okay. All right.
Yeah, I can talk about my new toy next week too. So
Like, we're okay to go for a few minutes longer if you want. I got some photos to go through. And
go through the photos. Let's have a
all
look.
right. Let's do
I
that.
love people's photos,
Okay, we'll do that.
including yours, Paul. They were incredible.
Yeah, they were, Paul. Awesome.
oh, thanks.
Yeah, it's gonna find it
Kind of
again.
makes me not want to show mine now.
In here, and we're in here, and we're here, and I gotta go. This. Over here. Almost there. Just hang on.
No problem.
Like playing
Okay.
piano.
I just gotta share my screen now. Share this one. We should have one up there now.
Yep. Yeah, can see it.
Awesome. This one's from Derek King. Derek says, hi, Chris. So sad that Mount Carlton party had to be canceled. We were there from Tuesday to Sunday and had mostly had good weather. A good call to cancel the party, though, as while we did weather the storm, it did really only last through Friday. The wind was wild. A site near ours almost had a disastrous night as a tree did come down mere inches from the front of the tent. Wow.
Wow.
Luckily, all were okay. Scary sight to wake up to for sure on Saturday morning. Anyhow, he said there were some amazing clear skies earlier in the week, and I was able to use my Samsung S23 phone. There you are, Paul. 10-second exposure.
Yep.
10-second exposure, ISO 3200 to capture this half decent shot of the Milky Way. Just to the left of center, you can see the coat hanger. Looking.
Yeah, right up there. Go up higher, Chris.
Huh?
Right there. Right there.
Yep. So awesome. Good stuff there. I'm glad you got some good observing in there. And anyway, he So also Tuesday evening, I was fortunate enough to catch your Starlink satellite train right above our campsite. There you go. So
Oh,
those
nice.
always make it nice too. Thanks, Derek.
Oh, there's Delphinus.
Yeah.
Yeah,
The
Bottom
coat
left.
hanger's almost
Oh,
dead
no.
center in that photograph, actually.
yeah, right there.
Yeah.
There it is.
Yep.
There
Yeah, I
it is.
missed,
There
yeah,
it
the
is.
cone hanger, yeah, and go,
There
there
it
it is,
is.
yeah, my
Yeah.
apologies, I missed
Yeah.
that. And then go to your left,
Down
keep
here.
going, nope, go even further. Right there, you
Oh,
had,
here.
yeah, there, yeah, there's Delphinus right
Yeah,
there.
Delphinius.
Delphinius.
The kite.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah,
Excuse me. Gonna go next to Matthew DePrace capture
oh,
here.
nice.
He says, "Hi Chris, glad to see you guys back. Here's a photo I took the other week of the Crescent Nebula. It's 3 hours of total exposure time using 2-minute subs. It was taken with my Celestron 9 1/4 Hyperstar in ASI 2600. This was a fun target to capture and process. I got a lot more details than I thought I was going to get. And if you know where to look, you can even start to make out the faint soap bubble nebula bottom right.
Wow.
There,
Crazy. Nice
awesome,
shot.
awesome picture.
Yeah, no, he did well with that.
Yeah.
That's beautiful. Very nice.
Okay, we're going to move to David Hoskin right now. He says, "Hi, Chris. I've attached a couple of images, the double cluster and Perseus.
Yes, sir.
It's a beauty, always a pretty one for
Yeah.
visitors to the Pie Piece, and always just pretty to look at. All those colored stars, eh?
Oh, it's amazing. Best binocular view ever, eh?
What's
Oh,
that?
The best binocular view ever.
Absolutely.
It's even impressive naked eye from like dark sky at Fundy.
Yeah.
Looking
Yeah.
for the cowboy. Where's the cowboy at? He's in here somewhere. He's not in that one, is he? No, we'll look up for later on. We're taking up the show. Okay, and you get this one here. Sun white light on September the 5th.
Yes, sir.
Nice. Look
And
at
then
all the
hydrogen
detail.
alpha. Hydrogen alpha there again on
Beautiful.
the 30th. So nicely done.
Beautiful.
Well done.
Very nice.
That was a few days ago. Then he sent me these ones today. Another shot of the double cluster, and I think it was the same shot. And here's a nice
Oh,
solar prominence. That's yesterday.
That's well done, man. That's
Yeah.
wow.
That was yesterday. So awesome. Thanks, David, for that. For those. All right, going to go from there to up next is going to be Misha Turner. Sent this one in. I said, "Good afternoon." She says, "I have attached a picture of one of my favorite stargazing moments from the summer that I took. It was taken on August the 10th. Cool. Look at that.
Beautiful.
Beautiful Milky Way."
Did she say where it was from?
No, she didn't. Just one of her favorite spots.
On Earth somewhere.
It's a secret.
It's the secret. You don't
Can't
tell
give
people.
out your secret spots.
It's like your fishing hole. You don't tell people where that is, right?
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Oh, that's an awesome shot.
Beautiful.
Beautiful.
Very nice. Good job. Thank you. We're going to go from there to Mark Ficken here. He says, "Hey, gang, this is the red moon. The red moon due to the wildfire smoke on Thursday, September the 12th in Oakville, Ontario."
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Yeah. So
They'd
Mark,
probably get it a little heavier up there, wouldn't they? Because it's coming from out west.
yeah, it is. Yeah. Now, I don't know if I pronounce this right. Bronte, Bronte.
Yeah. Bronte.
So he's the Bronte astronomer. So you can follow him on Facebook.
Yeah, actually, I just signed up with them.
Oh, you did? Oh,
It's
awesome.
down
Yeah.
by Burlington, but don't say it's Burlington. I learned that.
That's like it's like Wolverton and Doug.
Yeah.
Everett.
Yeah. Thanks so much for that, Mark. Okay, we're going to move over to now. This is a clip that Jennifer had sent me. Jennifer LG. See if it plays. Might not play in this one. Is it going to play in this one? No. I have to go back from this one. Hang on a sec. I'm going to skip by this one. Maybe I'll come back to it. Here's another photo. Anyways, that she sent. That was the a couple more photos for you. Trifid Nebula as shot with my Sea Star.
Right on.
Beautiful.
Yeah, it turned out good.
Hmm.
Colors
And
are really nice.
Northern Lights with my camera. So there you go.
Very nice.
Where is she?
I would say she's. I'm not quite
On
sure. where
Florida
she is.
Beach.
No, it's not Florida Beach, but
Nice.
I think it's a meteor from the Perseus sitting up your right there, right
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
So I'm going to try to go back and get that video. Just go a second because I want to do that a little bit of justice there.
So nice to see that aurora reflecting, isn't it?
It is, yeah. So we can get this way out with. Okay, so hold there just for a second. Stop. No, it's not going to stop. Just bear with me, folks. I'm just trying to. I'm not technologically advanced here, as you can probably understand or know. No, won't let me close it. Quit. Pause. I can't move it. Well, that's not the right program though. I'll get it ready for next week. We'll bring it up next week. I'll save it in another format. I couldn't save it in the proper format. So anyway, we're going to move on from there. But thank you, Jennifer, for those.
Beautiful.
I promise, I'll bring that video up next week. Okay, I'm going to go from there to Robert Gadet, capture of the moon on International Observe the Moon Night.
Hey.
Speech. Hey, so there's his capture. Hey, beautiful waxing gibbous. Good shot, Robert.
Actually, we're still looking at the aurora shot in the lake.
Yeah.
Oh, you are. Oh, Gike.
Yeah,
Sorry.
no, it looks great.
What is that? You're still looking at the aurora shot.
Yes, yes, beautiful.
And it should be going to the next one. That's not
No,
changed.
no,
Nope.
still seeing aurora.
Stop share. I wonder why. Maybe I'll try sharing again. Just a sec.
Might have just got hung up there.
Must have got snung up there somewhere.
Oh, you love modern technology?
Oh, don't you love it, huh?
There we go.
There you
There's
go.
one.
There you are.
Yeah,
Oh,
very
yep,
nice.
you got it. Okay. Yeah. Okay, so this is his image from the other night. Observed the moon night at St. Therese Beach, September the 14th. Sea Star S50 stacked at auto stacker 4, best 45% of 6,700 frames. Drizzled 1.5 times. Finishing IMPPG and Photoshop. I know you guys don't know what all that is, but
Yeah. Anyway,
We all missed the shot of the plane going through the middle of it, unfortunately.
yes, we
Yeah.
did. Actually, there was 2 of them last night.
Yeah, I
There was
know.
a second one. I caught them both with my eyeball, but not the camera.
The wizard.
Yeah, the wizard.
The wonderful Wizard of Oz.
Is this Kathy's? No, this is Stefan's, I think.
Looks like a prancing pony to me.
It says Robert Gadet right on top of the picture.
It does. Oh, it is
Yeah.
Robert Good. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. Robert Good shared this image from Funny National Park in New Brunswick. And this was the one that was shared on Earth Sky, I believe. He wrote IC 1805 or Mellet 15.
I like it.
The core of the Heart Nebula.
No, that's the wizard.
That's not the one. That looks like the wizard to me.
Yeah.
I might have them mixed up here.
Still looks like a prancing pony to me.
Either way, you can still make it up.
There we
There
go.
it is. There's
There
the
it
wizard
is.
again.
That's the wizard.
But they both were.
They both were the wizard.
Yep.
Who is the wizard? This wouldn't be our first night back, would it?
Yeah, how would you guess?
I'll do these photos justice next week.
There, that's the heart.
That's the heart. I just did have the. I had the.
That's the heart of the heart.
There it
Heart
is.
of the heart.
Yeah.
Lot
IC
15.
1805, right? And
Yeah,
Mellet
or
15.
lot 15. Yeah.
Core of the Heart Nebula. There. I received the ZUO Sea Star S50, and I was thrilled to see the data after being processed. So nice job.
There you
Yep. Yeah, very good.
Here's Stefan. Yeah. So Stefan Picard, Jupiter reflecting on the Bay of Fundy. That was really cool to see.
Yeah, that's when we were there using the lasers, remember?
Yeah.
go. Oh, yeah.
Oh no. Yeah.
Trying to put an extra line in Jupiter.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
So,
there's Pleiades and
Ladies up
Taurus.
here. Yep. Yep. And there's Taurus, the Via Taurus. But
Yeah,
yeah,
Jupiter.
to see Jupiter actually bright enough to actually reflect across the water.
Yeah,
That would be the moon, but it was bright
Yeah.
Jupiter. So
that was a really, really good night.
that was a great night. Yeah. Okay. And I'm gonna go from there to Kathy Adams capture here at the Triangulum Galaxy.
Yeah,
There you go.
M33.
Beauty, eh?
There you go. Nice
Nice
spiral, eh?
Mm.
Yeah. That's a tough one. And here's the Eagle Nebula
Eagle.
with her sea star.
I gotta rename that the chicken.
It does, doesn't it?
Yeah, it goes.
There's the gizzard. It's the gizzard up on top.
Yeah, the Gizzard Nebula.
But yeah, no, that and there's the pillars of creation
Yeah, that's right.
center.
Anyway, sorry, nice shot, Kathy.
Nice cat. Yeah.
Yeah, either way, it turned out well.
It
Lots of
did.
detail there. Yeah.
And I'm going to go to this one from Lisa Fanning. So Lisa says, "Hi, Chris. Rob and I were happy to share the moon last night with some of the children on our cul-de-sac for International Observe the Moon Night.
Oh, nice.
Awesome.
Their expressions of wow really were infectious," she said, when they saw the craters. It turned into a half-hour lesson on the moon and even some of the planets. That's what it's
Oh,
all
that's
about.
fantastic.
Absolutely. So
I'm a
Excellent.
go for them.
iPhone 13 through a Swarovski. There we go.
That's
Spotting scope from New Jersey.
Swarovski, yeah, that's a hard one to say.
It is. Thank you so much for that, Lisa. Now, if you have any photos you want to share with us, here's our new logo. You can send them into astronomybythebay@gmail.com, and we'd be happy to bring them up on the broadcast.
And look at those three wonderful gentlemen.
Aren't
in
they?
that photo.
the ones off to the right-hand
I'm
side.
talking about the ones on the right.
Oh,
Yeah.
I saw those two. Okay, this 1 second. I got something else here to bring up. This one. Okay, so just want to do a really quick what's up. And it's not a PowerPoint, it's just some slides.
What's up?
Hello.
What's up, Doc?
What up?
I think we can go here. Share two screen. This. Oh,
Oh, it's good to be back.
isn't it? You guys get the easy part.
Next week I've got, we were gonna show it tonight, but it was me, probably ran over, but I took a bunch of photographs of a lot of the astronomers at the Star Party. And I've got pictures of people from two different events of all the people that are in our area. For those who don't know who they are, I would like to show some of those next week, and give
Yeah,
a shout out to all those guys, all those people
Yep.
that do a lot of tireless volunteer work for this.
absolutely. Yeah, great idea. We will do that. Okay, just a few things that are happening quickly this week. So we've got Saturn and our moon together tomorrow evening, looking southeast around 9 o'clock Atlantic time. Now, I think on the very west part of the country, the moon will actually occult Saturn. We're very close to occulting Saturn at the same time. So as the moon goes to set for them. So, but for us, it's rising in the southeast now at 9 p.m. This is it's not rising before 9 p.m. It's up quite a bit earlier because it's at opposition. So it's usually about due south right around midnight. So this is up a fairly good distance that you'll be able to pick it up nicely. I did do this layering trick, and they will fit in the same field of view of binoculars, 10 by 50s, just barely, but they will. So you get Saturn and the waxing gibbous moon there together. I think it's going to be, it'll still be waxing. Harvest moon of Tuesday evening. Full moon actually arrives at 11:34 p.m. Moonrise in the east at about 7:28 p.m. Atlantic time. Now, at this time of year, too, the ecliptic line is really shallow like this across the sky. So the moon is going to rise about 20 minutes later the next night, 20 minutes later, 20 minutes later. So if you don't catch it on Tuesday night, watch for it again on Wednesday night. It'll still look almost as full. And we do have a partial lunar eclipse coming as well. So we cast a shadow back into space, of course, and the moon has to be just the right spot to pass through our thicker part of our shadow, which makes it not much darker. And that's called the umbra. That's this part up here. But the moon is just going to pass through what's called the penumbra. So when you have a bright full moon and it passes through the penumbra, you can see a bit of a difference. I don't know. How do you guys make out with it? Do you see a whole lot of difference, or?
It's a slight dimming.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
because it's so bright to begin with, so it'll pass through a fainter part of our shadow here, and then just a chunk will be taken out of the side here, in the corner, and well, not a corner, I guess, on one part of the moon. It'll look like it's had a bite out of it. And so here's your times for that. 9:41 penumbral eclipse begins. The partial eclipse begins at 11:12. That part there. Maximum eclipse at 11:44. And 12:15 the partial eclipse ends, and 1:47 in the morning the penumbral eclipse ends. So a few hours there, 10, 11, 12, I guess about 5 hours almost. So that's to look forward to.
Tuesday night into Wednesday morning.
That's right. Yep.
Yeah.
Us to the 17th into the 18th. Yep.
Are you going down to St. Tress for that?
No, I won't be going down for that one, but I have to work in the morning. You guys remember what that is, don't you?
No. Oh, actually, it might still working.
Yeah. I'll have to miss that one. Anyway, from there, though, we're going to go to occultation of Neptune. This is another one that's kind of neat to see. If you can pick up Neptune in a telescope, and you can in some, well, you don't have to, I think it's a 6-inch telescope or larger might get it. Blue Neptune there, bluish, like looks blue to me, but the moon will occult it on Wednesday morning at between 5:10 and 5:43 Atlantic time. So,
Oh, so it'll be dark.
yeah.
I wonder, can you see, is Neptune bright enough to see with the moon that bright, that close, I wonder?
That'll be tough. Yeah, it's hard to say. No, yeah,
I'll
that's
have to look it up and find out. Yeah.
yeah. Anyway, that's Wednesday morning if you get a chance to get out and take a look. Also, we've got Jupiter's red spot. Jupiter now rising in the evening sky, visible around 23:02 Thursday and 24:41 Saturday. The red spot is this large anticyclone here that's a couple of times now at least the size of Earth. So that'll be available this week because Jupiter's starting to come up into our evening sky. We're rising a little bit earlier each night. It's not at opposition until December, so we'll have Jupiter all through the winter pretty well. Sunday, we have next Sunday, we have the moon and the Pleiades together, which is always a nice opportunity for a photo right there. That's always a pretty cluster. And in some parts, I believe on the western coast again, that the moon will actually be passing right through the Pleiades, or at least parts of it. Well, that's not us though. Anyway, go from there to just a quick peek at C2023 A3. So looking east, that's on next Sunday, September 22nd at 6:25 a.m. Now the sky is brightening up by 6:25, but it is going to be low in the east and visible for us at least for about the next 5 days after that. The 27th, it's at its closest approach to the sun, perihelion. And then we have to wait until we get into October for our best views. So we'll be looking west. Venus is just off to the left. We might have a crescent moon there in the same time. So we might have a comet, crescent moon, and Venus all grouped together. And this is on October the 13th. So we have to wait till about the 11th before this comet makes it to our evening sky high enough to see it. And then from here, it's going to just shoot up here like crazy. It's going to jump big distances over the next 4. So we really only have about a week to catch a good view of it. So we're still fingers crossed. They did say, somebody had said that they thought it was breaking up. Right now it's down to a magnitude 5.5, which means it can be picked up in binoculars. The morning sky, once it goes around the sun, we should see some more forward scattering, they call it, which is more of a field of view or more debris out in front. So we'll take a look and keep our fingers crossed for that one. That might be the comet of the year.
Mm-hmm.
So that's I didn't want to stop.
They're blowing it up to big as or bright as hell, Bob.
Yeah. Oh yeah. The same. I saw one that said -4, which is as bright as Venus, right? So
yeah,
it would be different. St. John Astronomy Club and Royal Astronomical Society of Canada. Kurt Nason puts out this calendar for us every month. So it's a September-October calendar. We started September the 8th. We end up on October the 19th. You can go to sgastronomy.ca, download that calendar. Here's where I get my notes on what's happening throughout the week. And you can also go to Lisa's Lookup, Astronomy and More. So find Lisa at Ruby Moonbeams on Instagram, Twitter, Mastodon, and Facebook, and now on Threads, she says. So she lists the events here. These are the dates of the events, the peak time for the event, and what you need for tools to see it, naked eye, binoculars, or a telescope. So visit her at Lisa's Lookup, Astronomy and More. And that's all I get to say about that.
So before you sign off, Jennifer shot me a message, and she said that she lives at Kingston, close to Long Reach. That's where those shots were from.
Okay.
And the aurora was taken from along the wharves that are along the river.
Oh,
Okay.
gorgeous.
Awesome. Yeah. Beautiful spot. So an update on tonight. I just looked at NOAA just a few minutes ago, and it's still saying a G3 level for tonight. As far as the apps go, I think the app still says like 3 to 6 in the morning.
Yeah.
So I can put a post up a little bit later on my page if I find that things have changed around a little bit. So you guys want to take it for a minute while I try to find our closing?
Yeah, sure. Sure.
What else you get to say?
Yeah.
We gotta
I
start
think
singing or
I got it
something.
here pretty soon, huh?
We gotta start singing or something.
Oh, don't say.
Yeah.
Actually, I think we're ready. I think we're ready.
Oh, here, before you put that up,
Just
let me
when I was
share-
about to sing too, darn it.
I was gonna
Oh.
share I'm gonna share a picture. A
Sure.
friend of mine came over with her grandson, and she wanted to take a picture of him with his space outfit. So I have this device here that has a projection. So this is what we came up with. I'm just gonna show you this. Oh, can you see it? That's actually the little fella standing right there. That's the gun in his hand. And what you see in the back with that light and stuff, that's a special kind of projector that I've got. So I'm able to put him in his space scene. And
Yes,
I just
sir.
AI'd in the spaceship and the Saturn and the laser beam coming off of his gun. But what a fun shot. And he was just so thrilled to see that.
That's cool. I hope he's not shooting cats in Springfield though.
Let's hope. All right, so that's our show for this evening. We hope you enjoyed the program. It was fun to be back again with all of you, and we're looking forward to our new season coming ahead. So to all of you who share the program for us, thank you very much. Remember too, we do love getting your photos. Send them into astronomybythebay@gmail.com. I will fix the photos from last week. And we'll be happy to share them on our next broadcast. So a special thanks to goes out to our friends for Rogers this evening for carrying our program for us. So until next week, wishing you all clear skies. As we like to say, guys, open your eyes to view the skies and keep your scopes pointed up. Good night, everybody. And I think we're ready to go.